G'day, my name's Stuart from Fusion Video. What I want to talk about today is to answer the question, what type of content should I make videos about? Very good starting point is to look at the growing trend towards content as a marketing tool, which is a very, very healthy trend because it tends to empower your prospects and customers. It puts you in a very favorable light in terms of demonstrating your expertise, positioning yourself and so forth. So given that video is just a medium, it's just another way of putting content marketing out there. It can be a lot simpler than writing things. You know, everyone's different. Some people might really enjoy writing, some people might not, but it's certainly not that difficult if you've got the thoughts in your head to stand in front of a camera or do a voiceover or whatever it is and create any sorts of moving pictures. So, what type of content can you use? What I would start with is look at who is your customer, what problem you solve for them, what fears and frustrations they have, and what is their starting point in your knowledge or understanding about that particular solution that you have. Then you can assist them by educating and therefore positioning yourself as the expert. So there's a few ways of looking at that. One is, what are the questions that you are commonly asked? What are the frequently asked questions? Go through those. Anything that comes up, numerous times is something that other people are likely to have on their mind. So therefore, that's going to be a good piece of content to create. And if you can answer that intelligently, then not only do you deliver that, your best version once and now, and it can be self-consumed on your website, you've also, again, positioned yourself as somebody that understands what people are after. So frequently asked questions. Another one, I guess questions that you wish people would ask. So sometimes these only come up when you're actually face to face or on the phone with somebody and you really want them to ask something, or you might even suggest it to them, but that's a subject that you want raised. So it could be that your offering is significantly different to your competitor's offering. For example, there might be a quality differential, or they might completely underperform, or whatever it is. People may not necessarily ask that off the bat, but when it does come up, it's something that you like addressing. So look at things that should be asked, or that you would like to be asked. They're things that you want to get out there. And again, they help position you, and if one person has it on their mind, it's likely to be useful for other people in your prospect audience. Another way to look at it is what are things that are difficult to understand or are often misunderstood about your industry. So, for example, if you look at anything technical, even within the marketing sphere, you look at search engine optimization or something where there's one level of explanation that is often good enough to suffice for people, but below that there's a whole range of technical and implementation things. It might be that you want to dive into those, and that creating the best version of your explanation actually is very, very beneficial to your customers. So they might have some fundamental misunderstandings too of how that works. And every industry changes. Using this example again of search engine optimization within marketing, yes, that has changed many, many times over the last 4 or 5 years. So that's a great example of something that it's quite likely that unless you do it full time, you're not going to understand it the way you should. So if you are wanting to position yourself and get customers up to speed so that you can actually come in and help them with your offering, then that's where creating that content would be quite useful. Another one, and this isn't really a separate category, but it sort of influences all these other things that we're talking about, is the power of storytelling. People learn better through stories, analogies, metaphors, actual real life examples, case studies and so forth. So taking an idea, applying it to something else that you've done, or telling a story about a client that you've worked with is a very, very strong way of making a point. A testimonial of someone that's in a similar industry to them or has a similar problem to them, and how your solution help them overcome the same business problem or achieve the same result is actually much more powerful than simply saying we do A, B, C, D and E. Telling the story about John Smith, who had the same problem and this was his issue, this is how he solved it, and this is the outcome now. That is actually very powerful. So it doesn't just have to be testimonials. All types of case studies and analogies are very, very strong. So when we work with people and we generally look at these points on the sales funnel and try to find where video can act as leverage, we will try and drill down into examples that you've got. So we think that's a very powerful way to do it. And lastly, look at the action that you want people to take. So maybe it's to educate them, maybe it's to help sort of encourage them to contact you. For me, for example, in this video, my goal is to get someone to pick up the phone and phone me and to talk about how they might want to use video in their business. That would be a great outcome. So if that's you and you're watching this, let's have a chat. Stuart Gordon, 0424 225 097. We do two things. First of all, we teach people how to use video, either for themselves, we can talk to them about strategy, tools that they need, how they're going to actually implement a project, or we do complete done-for-you solutions. So those are the two lines of business that we have. We help you and we do it for you. So if either of those are interesting and you have a business and you want to get some acceleration, give me a call, Stuart Gordon on 0424 225 097. Look forward to it. Thanks.